Good evening. Welcome to Lumina Theatre Group's presentation of Lord Arthur Savile's Crime by Constance Cox from the story by Oscar Wilde. The play will last for approximately 90 minutes with one 5-minute intermission. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's performance of Lord Arthur Savile's Crime. It is the 1890s, and we are in the drawing room of Lord Arthur Savile's house in Grosvenor Square, London.
Did you like my playing, Baines?
The manner and execution were beyond praise, my lord, as with everything your lordship does.
Thank you, Baines.
But I regret I do not care for the piece, my lord.
Oh, but it was the wedding march.
I recognized it, my lord. It is a piece with which most men are regrettably familiar.
And I thought you said I played it well.
If one may allow for a certain joie de vivre not generally associated with the marriage service, my lord.
Well, dash it all, I'm happy. You haven't by any chance forgotten I'm being married next week.
No, my lord, the fact had not escaped my memory. Will that be all, my lord?
Is everything ready for tonight?
A cold collation has been laid in the dining room. A small gathering, I think your lordship said?
That's right, just a few of my relations and Miss Burton's mother to discuss the final arrangements for the wedding. Oh, that may be them now. If so, show them in, Baines.
Very good, my lord. Miss Savile Merton.
Oh, why, Sybil, darling, what a lovely surprise. I thought you weren't coming tonight.
I wasn't, Arthur, but something happened and I simply had to see you.
Oh, I'm so glad. What's the matter, darling?
Arthur, that's what I've come to tell you. Prepare yourself for a shock, my love. We may never be married.
What are you saying? It's all been arranged.
Yes, I know.
Oh, you haven't changed your mind, have you? You do still love me?
Yes, of course I do, with all my heart. I want to go on with it, but it's my mother.
Oh, Lady Julie has given her consent.
Yes, I know, but that was before she... Oh, Arthur, I hardly know how to tell you.
Oh, sit down, darling. You're upset. Now, tell me what it's about.
Arthur, have you ever heard of a man named Podgers?
No, I don't think so. Who is he?
He's a chiromantist.
You don't mean a chiropodist?
No, dear, chiromantist, a palm reader.
Oh, sort of a fortune teller, I suppose.
Yes, in a way.
Oh, well, what about him?
Well, you see, Arthur, Mr. Podgers isn't an ordinary fortune teller at all. In fact, he's the greatest chiromantist in the world. With one glance at your hand, he can tell you everything you've ever done in the past and everything you're going to do in the future.
Can he, by Jove? I wish I'd met him at the big race last week.
No, Arthur, not silly things like that. He's much more serious. He looks at your hand for crimes and misdemeanors.
Can you see those, too?
Oh, yes. Every disreputable thing everybody has ever done is recorded in the palm of their hand, and Mr. Podgers can see it at once, no matter how well they may have concealed it from other people.
Well, the man sounds a positive menace.
Only when there's something to find out, dear. If people have never done anything wrong, then Mr. Podgers can't say anything against them, can he? I mean, he couldn't find out anything about you, for instance.
No, me, of course not.
Oh, Arthur, I'm so glad you said that. I was hoping you would, because now you won't mind what Mamma has done.
Fun?
Yes. You see, dear, she's naturally very anxious that I should be happy in my married life. So when everybody told her how good Mr. Podgers was at finding out about people's past and futures, she went to him at once and she...
Well?
She's bringing them here tonight to read your hand.
Mine?
You don't mind, do you, dear?
Why does she want him to read my hand?
To find out all about you, of course, before we're married.
But she knows all about me.
Well, she only knows what you've told her, Arthur, and she always says young men in love don't always tell the truth about their pasts.
Does she think I've been concealing something?
No, not exactly, but she'd like to make sure.
Oh, really?
I don't see why you should object, Arthur. If you've always told us the truth, then Mr. Podgers won't be able to find out anything about you we don't already know. You've always told us the truth, haven't you?
Yes, of course I have.
Well, then you've nothing to worry about.
Well, that's not the point, Sybil. It's the principle of the thing. I feel very hurt at being suspected like this. Besides, I don't want my hand read.
Oh, Arthur, why not?
Well, I'd rather not, that's all.
Arthur, Are you afraid?
Certainly not. I've nothing to be afraid of. Simply
Oh,
don't
Arthur,
do
you
that sort of thing.
are.
Oh, I'm not Sybil, really, I'm not.
There's something you haven't told us.
No, there isn't. Darling, really, there isn't.
Arthur, they're here. And I'm caught.
Wait in the morning room, darling. Then when Baines has shown them in, you can slip out.
I must go. Don't let them frighten you.
The Dean of Paddington.
Good evening. Uncle, I'm delighted to see you.
How are you, Arthur, my boy? Upon my word, you're looking well. Did you have a good honeymoon?
I'm not married yet, Uncle.
You're not? Are you quite sure?
Quite sure, Uncle.
That's an extraordinary thing. I felt sure I married you last month. I mean, I performed the ceremony.
Perhaps it was Lord Goring, Uncle.
Goring? Yes, that's it. Goring, of course. Fellow with a blank sort of face and no brains. That's what made me think of you. Well, my boy, and when is the happy day?
Next Thursday, Uncle. And would you mind seeing that you've made a note of the date? It would be rather awkward if you weren't there.
Yes, and here we are, Thursday the 24th, marrying Arthur between Lord Jedburgh and Lady Stoke.
I'd rather be married singly, if you don't mind, Uncle.
No, you needn't worry, my boy. They won't interfere with you. They're being buried.
Buried?
Yes.
Well, I hope you won't think me eccentric, Uncle, but I would rather my marriage be a cheerful occasion.
My dear Arthur, there's nothing less cheerful about marriage. The sooner you learn that, the better. As a matter of fact, I always recommend a funeral before a wedding. It puts all the parties in a proper frame of mind.
Lady Windermere. Lady Clementina Beauchamp.
Arthur, my dear, you are looking uncommonly well for a man about to be married.
So I've been told, Aunt Margaret. Auntie Clem, how good of you to come.
Nobody but you could have brought me out so late, dear boy. I'm an old woman now.
You look as young and beautiful as you ever were.
Nonsense. I shall wait and see you made happy, dear boy, and then I shall die in peace. Oh, that reminds me. Before I do that, will you let me have £500?
Auntie, you haven't been gambling again?
Oh, surely you don't begrudge me my poor pleasures. I haven't had a penny from you in 6 weeks, Arthur. After all, I'm a sick woman. I must have some little amusement.
Oh, it's too bad of you, Clementina. Arthur will have a great many expenses after he's married.
I know. That's why I'm asking him while he can still afford it. You won't refuse me, will you, Arthur?
Oh, very well. I'll send you a check
That's
tomorrow.
a good boy.
And how is Frederick, Clementina? Is he feeling better?
I hope so, Robert. There's not much point in dying if you still have the gout.
Upon my soul, is he dead?
I trust so, dear. You buried him.
Extraordinary.
I want you to see the rest of the house as well. It's entirely Sybil's doing. She chose every one of the decorations.
Did she? Then she must have considerable better taste than her mother. No taste whatsoever in clothes or people. Have you seen her latest favorite?
Who's that?
Oh, a perfectly dreadful little man named Podges. Calls himself a chiromantist.
What is that on earth? What is it?
Palm reader. Fortune teller.
Then you know of him, Auntie.
I not only know of him, I have actually had to meet him. I simply couldn't avoid it. He's asked everywhere. People seem quite mad to have their hands read nowadays.
But do you think he's any good, Auntie?
Oh, as to that, I should hesitate to say. But I was delighted to come here tonight, Arthur, knowing that this to be the one place in London where he could quite be certain of not meeting him.
Lady Julia Merton. Mr. Podgers.
Oh, really, Arthur, this is too much.
Good evening, Lady Julia.
Oh, good evening. I was under the impression you would be alone tonight, Arthur. I particularly wanted to talk to you, and now I find you surrounded by half London.
I'm sorry if we give you that impression, Lady Julia. You may rest assured that I, for one, will not be staying much longer.
Oh no, Aunt Margaret, please don't break up my little party.
Arthur, this is Mr. Podgers. Mr. Podgers, Lord Arthur Savile.
A great pleasure, my lord. Permit me to congratulate you. I have heard your happy news.
Thank you. Let me present to you my guests, Mr. Podgers, Lady Clementina Beecham, Lady Windermere,
We've met.
and my uncle, the Dean of Paddington.
So you've taken a night off from your, what do you call it, fortune-telling, Mr. Podgers?
Oh, pardon me if I correct you, Mr. Dean, but I do not tell fortunes. I read the past, the present, and the future from the palm of the hand.
But how exciting that must be.
Not so much for me, perhaps, my lady. As for my...
Victims?
I was about to say consulters, Lady Windermere, and tonight I am here on business.
Business.
I have brought Mr. Podgers here, Lady Windermere.
For what purpose, may I ask?
To read Lord Arthur's palm.
Arthur's, but why?
Well, to ascertain if he is fitted to be the husband for my daughter.
But of course I am.
In that case, you'll need not object to Mr. Podgers seeing your palm. Give your hand to Mr. Podgers at once, Arthur. The right one. Examine it carefully, Mr. Podgers. The slightest irregularity, and I shall terminate the match.
Do not be nervous, Lord Arthur. It is not in any degree painful. Ah, a young hand. The lines are not deeply marked. I shall have to use my magnifying glass.
Oh, this is wonderfully exciting, is it not?
Ah, now we shall see. Ah, what a fortunate young man you are, Lord Arthur. You have had riches, the best of health, and complete happiness. I am correct, am I not?
Yes, quite correct.
Are there any irregularities?
Really?
No, my lady, none at all. A singularly upright young man.
Then kindly proceed with the future.
I am about to. I shall not be long now, my lord.
Thank you.
The future. Yes.
Well, we are waiting, Mr. Podgers.
Oh, the hand of a very charming young man, your ladyship.
But his future, what about his future?
He will be married and have 2 children, a boy
Is that
and a
all
girl.
you can see?
That is all, your ladyship, a singularly uneventful life. The only incidents are purely domestic ones.
Oh, then it seems you have been telling the truth after all, Arthur. I suppose I shall have to believe you. It is all very unsatisfactory.
Enough of this jiggery-pokery. I want something to eat. I suppose you have something to offer us, Arthur.
Yes, of course, Uncle. I beg your pardon. In the dining room.
Take my arm, Clementina.
Thank you, Robert. I'm glad you're such a good boy, Arthur. But oh, my dear, what you're missing.
If your lordship will excuse me.
Mr. Podgers, please wait.
Oh, my lord, I have an appointment.
What was it you saw in my hand?
I've already told you, my lord, a happy marriage.
No, not that. There was something else. Something you didn't tell me. I must know what it was.
What makes you think I saw more in your hand than I told you?
You have a very expressive face, Mr. Podgers. What you saw was catastrophic. I must insist upon knowing what it was.
Lord Arthur, the Duchess will be waiting.
Now, I don't care if a dozen duchesses are waiting. I shall not allow you to leave this room until you've told me what you saw.
You'll be wise not to insist, my lord.
But I do. If it's money you want, I'll pay you well.
How well?
£100?
Guineas?
Oh, yes, very well, guineas. Now, tell me.
I saw blood on your hand, Lord Arthur.
Blood? What do you mean, blood? Whose blood?
That I am unable to tell you, my lord. Let us hope it will be that of a person of no importance.
Are you trying to tell me I'm going to kill somebody?
Precisely, my lord. At some date in the future, you will commit murder.
Murder? But I can't possibly do a murder. I'm being married next week.
Oh, don't let it interfere with your arrangements, my lord. It's possible you may have many years of married bliss before the unhappy event takes place.
Do you think I would marry now, with this hanging over my head? No. I must give Sybil up. Yet, how can I explain it to her? How can I tell her that the man she loves?
Do not despair, my lord. There is also the chance that fate may have ordained you to do the deed before next Thursday, in which case you may marry Miss Merton with a clear conscience.
Before? Yes, you're right. Since I must do this awful thing, it is my duty to do it before we are married. Well, then I can devote my life to her. knowing she will then have to blush for me or hang her head in shame.
You are noble, my lord.
Oh, no. I must not allow selfishness to triumph over love. I have no right to marry till the thing is done. By the way, did you say only one?
Oh, yes, my lord, only one.
Well, there's nothing else in my hand.
Nothing, my lord, just this murder. That is all.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Podgers. I'm most grateful to you. My check shall be sent to you first thing tomorrow morning. Yes.
I'm going now, Arthur. Oh, you are in here, Mr. Podgers. I hope you have not been telling Lord Arthur anything you did not tell me.
Certainly not, Lady Julia. I was merely telling Lord Arthur that if at any time he wishes to consult me, my hours are from 10 till 4, and I make a reduction for families.
Indeed. Come, Podgers. We are due at the Duchess's, and Duchesses must not be kept waiting.
Good night, Lady Julia. I was delighted you could come.
Now, I may remind you, Arthur, that although your white lies may be written in the palm of your hand, they are undoubtedly engraven in the book of the recording angel. Good night.
Oh, Baines, where are the others?
The Dean is in the dining room, my lord. Lady Windermere and Lady Beauchamp are still admiring the room upstairs.
Oh, good. Come in. I want to have a little talk with you.
I am honored, my lord.
It's possible, too, I may need your assistance. The fact is, Baines, Mr. Podgers discovered something a little disturbing in my hand, and I have to do something about it rather quickly.
Indeed, my lord.
To put it briefly, I find myself obliged to murder somebody before next Thursday.
I see, my lord.
You may wonder why there is such a need for haste, but I feel it would be unfair to Miss Merton if I murdered somebody after we were married.
Quite so, my lord. Apart from the fact, it is as well to keep such matters extremely private.
Exactly. Now, being totally unused to this sort of thing, I find myself a little at a loss. If you were proposing to commit a murder, Baines, how would you go about it?
Might I first inquire, my lord, whether the victim is to be a member of your lordship's family or a complete stranger?
Well, I haven't actually decided it yet. Doesn't really matter.
Then since it appears to be immaterial, my lord, you could, of course, remove some leading politician, and whilst achieving your own object, earn the undying gratitude of the nation.
Yes, that's true. But Baines, no, I think not. I feel I ought to keep this a purely personal matter. After all, I'm extremely well endowed with relatives myself.
One might almost say to the point of saturation, my lord?
Yes. Who'd you choose, Baines?
Since your lordship naturally wishes to avoid publicity, I feel it would be as well to select one of your relatives who does not, so to speak, figure in the public eye.
Well, but all my relatives are public figures, except...
Indeed, exactly, my lord.
Oh, but dash it all, I'm rather fond of Aunt Clem.
I think, my lord, that this is not a matter where you should allow your finer feelings to enter in.
No, that's true.
And the Lady Clementina, if I make so bold, has cost your lordship considerable sums of money since your majority.
That's true, yes, but I'm not doing this for reasons of economy.
Nevertheless, my lord, there can be no harm in killing two birds with one stone.
Oh, then I'll do it. Poor Lady Clem. Oh, now, how do we do it? That's the next thing. It's got to be something completely painless, Baines. I couldn't bear to hurt her.
With regard to method, my lord, I feel we might do worse than take a leaf from the book of the Borgias.
Right. Well, you don't happen to know any subtle poisons, do you, Baines?
By a curious coincidence, my lord, I was reading a murder case recently in which a family of 10 was wiped out at one sitting by a preparation known as wolf's bane.
Here, steady on. I don't want to wipe out a family of 10.
Ascertain the amount needed for the disposal of one, my lord. I imagine Erskine's toxicology will inform us on that point. An effective method would be to have the poison conveyed to her in a disguised receptacle, a sweets or something equally innocent in appearance. Perhaps you would care to examine the properties peculiar to wolfsbane.
Yes, here it is. Painless, tasteless, acts within half an hour, gives every appearance of heart failure.
Nothing could be more convenient, my lord. And the fatal dose?
1 drop. I say, it must be pretty potent stuff.
Evidently, my lord. Would you care for me to obtain the requisite amount from the chemist's tomorrow?
Yes, I think so, Baines. There's no point in wasting time. Then you can pop round to it with Aunt Clems first thing in the morning.
Take care, my lord. Someone is coming.
I'm going now, Arthur. Oh dear, it's long past my bedtime, and unless I take care of myself, I shall be fit for nothing at your wedding.
You ought to have a nice long rest, Auntie.
Oh, how right you are. But how to get it? Sometimes I'd give anything just to go to sleep and never wake up again. Still, I mustn't worry you with my troubles. Good night, dear boy. I'm so glad Mr. Podgers didn't find anything horrible about you.
Goodbye, Aunt Clem. Goodbye.
Dear me, we are affectionate tonight. Good night, dear. Oh, and Arthur, you won't forget to send me what I need, will you?
No, Auntie. It's coming tomorrow morning. Ah, are those the sweets, Baines?
They are, my lord. Would your lordship care to see them?
Oh, yes, open them. Oh, I say, they do look appetizing, don't they?
They are the best money can buy, my lord. I felt you would wish to spare no expense on this occasion.
Certainly not. I wouldn't like to be thought mean about murdering my aunt. Have you got the fatal one, Baines?
Not yet, my lord. The messenger, Nellie the maid, has not yet returned from the chemist's, but she should not be long.
You know, I'm exceedingly grateful to you, Baines. If it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have known where to begin in this business.
I'm glad to have been of service, my lord.
As it is, the thing is simplicity itself. I can't think why people go wrong with murder. It's so easy.
It is the careful preparation beforehand that counts, my lord.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Baines. I'm postponing my marriage for a fortnight.
Indeed, my lord.
Yes, I felt, after all, it would not be quite the thing to have the wedding immediately after the funeral. I wrote to Lady Julia last night.
Your feelings do you credit, my lord. Ah, that will be the maid.
The box from the chemist, Mr. Baines. Oh, my lord.
Seems a nice girl.
A simple thing, my lord, but not uncomely.
Now, let's see the capsule. Oh, why, Baines, it's superb. Oh, that delightful little pink colour, the glowing little bubble inside. Nobody could resist it.
Let us hope not, my lord.
Oh, and there are some instructions here. The capsule may be swallowed or masticated, or, if preferred, will dissolve in liquid. Huh, obliging, isn't it? Now, all we have to do is place it amongst the sweets in this box, dispatch it to my Aunt Clementina, and the deed is done. Now, hand me one of my cards, Baines. I must write a suitable message, and you shall take it round after luncheon. Oh, if that's Lady Julia, show her in.
Very good, my lord.
From your affectionate nephew, Arthur.
My lord, there is a person outside who insists upon seeing you.
Oh, well, let him come in.
He appears to be foreign, my lord, but otherwise I can see nothing against him.
Oh, well, let him come in.
Will you come this way, sir, please?
Lord Arthur Savile?
Yes, don't go, Baines.
I am delighted to make your acquaintance, my lord. Oh, it is indeed a privilege to meet one of the English aristocracy with the same interests as myself.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
Oh, you will, Lord Arthur. You will when I have given my card. Here, there, you read him.
Frederick Winklecopf.
Me?
President of the Royal Society of Anarchists, Humanitarian Branch.
Now you understand, yeah?
I'm afraid not. If it's a subscription you want, I'm always willing to support a good cause.
No. It is not for money I have come to see you. It is because you and I, Lord Arthur, we are brothers in the blood.
I beg your pardon?
Your object is the same as mine. Murder.
What? What did you say?
I don't need to look so frightened, Lord Arthur. I will not give you away.
You're not from the police.
Oh, no, I am the great Winklekoff. I do not work with these police. I support private enterprise. Now tell me, is it a member of the degenerate class you wish to remove? 9?
Well, as a matter of fact, it's my Aunt Clementina.
Ha! That is good.
Well, yes, but how do you know? I really didn't want it to get about. Have you been talking, Baines?
Not a syllable, my lord.
I will tell you how I find out all about you. Yeah?
Yeah, yes.
Last night, I was passing by this house, doing nothing but minding my own business. I have nothing at hand, you see. It is the off-season for revolutions. Then suddenly I see, what do you say? A maiden come up to these steps?
Yeah?
I fancy he means the maid, my lord.
Yeah. That she goes along the road muttering to herself as though endeavoring to remember some complicated message.
I suppose you follow the girl.
That is right, my lord. And then at the end of her journey, I see the maiden plunge into a chemist shop. I say to myself, Heinrich, there is some dirty work afoot. Go in. I go in, placing myself beside the maiden, and when I hear her ask for a capsule containing wolfsbane for the destruction of a dog on the account of Lord Arthur Savile, I know my suspicions is confirmed. Never in my vigils around this house have I heard the baying of dogs.
I told you we should have got a dog, Baines.
Then I say to myself, perhaps there is someone who may need your help. So I come straight to you, Lord Arthur.
Oh, it's very kind of you, Herr Winklekoff, but I really think I'm capable of committing my own murders. Thank you all for saying.
I am glad to hear it. It is good to meet a really capable man. Is it permitted to ask how it is to be done?
Certainly. The capsule has been placed among the sweets in the box. That's it, the pink one with the globule of liquid inside. And I shall send it round to my Aunt Clementina after luncheon. My aunt is particularly fond of sweets.
But that is superb. It is so simple. It has this stamp of genius. She eat and she papa. Oh, you are the true artist, Lord Arthur. Always the artist choose this simple method of approach. Never, except for myself, have I met with such ingenuity.
Well, now that you mention it, I confess it is rather neat.
Neat? Oh, it is brilliant. Never have I seen the like. You shall be awarded the ribbon and medal of the Anarchist Society, first class.
Oh, well, I didn't really expect any sort of recognition for this, you know.
I insist. You shall receive it tomorrow in a plain wrapper by registered post.
Oh, well, in that case, I feel I ought to mention that my servant Baines has been very of great assistance to me. I shouldn't care to take all the credit.
You too? Two such men in one house? Oh, it is too much. Permit me. You shall also receive the ribbon and medal of my society.
Thank you, sir.
Second class.
My lord, I am keenly disappointed. I should have thought if anyone in this house had earned the first-class medal, it was I. It was nothing else, my lord, but class distinction.
Oh, do not be despondent, mein friend. Oh, it has not given to all, like Lord Arthur, to receive the first-class medal on their first attempt. And the second-class medal is very nice. Oh, it has picture of Guy Fawkes and King Henry VIII.
Well, there you see, Baines. I don't have Henry VIII.
No, my lord.
And now I must be going. And if in the future I can be of service to you.
Thank you. I will certainly keep your card.
Lady Julia Merton. Miss Merton.
The victim.
Beg your pardon?
No. Good morning, Lady Julia. Good morning, Sybil. You'll excuse me now, Herr Winklekoff?
But of course, I leave you to the good work. Oh, it has been a pleasure to meet you, my lord. I like you almost as much as I like myself. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
May I ask who that was?
Oh, a mere acquaintance, Lady Julia. He rather admires me.
Yes, I noticed he seemed peculiar.
Sybil.
One moment, Arthur, before you salute my daughter. I should like to know the meaning of that extraordinary letter you sent me this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry you thought it extraordinary, Lady Julia. I simply asked if you'd mind postponing the wedding for a fortnight.
May I ask for what reason?
Well, I'm expecting the death of a near relative.
Oh, Arthur, I'm so sorry. Who is it?
Lady Aunt Clementina.
Oh, darling. And it's really serious.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, I don't suppose she'll last out the day.
When did you know she couldn't live?
Only last night.
You poor thing. It must have been a shock for you.
Oh, yes, it was, rather.
I must say this is very sudden. When I spoke to her yesterday, she made no mention of the fact. I should hardly have thought it was a thought of thing to slip her memory.
Oh, she doesn't know it yet, Lady Julia.
You mean it is being kept from her?
Oh, that's right. It's a secret. I'm the only one who knows.
Her physicians have informed you privately, I suppose.
I have private information, certainly.
And I see you expect the sad news at any moment.
Oh, yes, any time she gets it. After luncheon.
After luncheon? And why not before, pray, if her condition is so serious?
Oh, no, it couldn't be before that. At least it's not very likely.
You seem strangely positive on that point. I can hardly conclude that the trouble concerns her digestive organs. Has she eaten something which has disagreed with her?
Not yet, Lady Julia. It's confidently expected that she will.
It seems the most unusual case. However, I suppose I have no alternative but to accede to your request.
Thank you, Lady Julia. I'm so sorry, Sybil.
I understand, darling.
All the same, Arthur, I trust this will be the only delay and that your relatives will not make a habit of this sort of thing.
Oh, no, all the rest are in the best of health.
Arthur, dear, good morning. Do you know your stupid man tried to tell me you weren't in? Why, Lady Julia and dear Sybil, how nice to see you. Isn't it a perfectly beautiful morning? It feels wonderful to be alive.
In your condition, Lady Clementina, it would appear to be little short of miraculous.
My condition? Oh, has Arthur been telling you about my heartburn? Oh, you shouldn't take any notice of him. The dear boy exaggerates so.
So it would seem.
It has completely gone this morning, and so has my rheumatism. In fact, when I woke up, I felt so well, I decided to give a little party tonight. I came to ask Arthur to arrange my music for me. He is so good at that sort of thing.
This is a most remarkable recovery.
Now go and find me some nice French music, Arthur. I shall sit here and have a nice gossip with Lady Julia and Sybil.
We were on the point of leaving.
Oh, but you mustn't go. No, I'll have no one to talk to. Oh, Arthur, this is some box of sweets. How nice.
Oh, Auntie, please don't touch them.
Oh, why, they're for me. Oh, how perfectly charming of you.
I was going to send them round to you. I didn't want you to have them yet.
Oh, then I'll be very glad that I came. I shall enjoy them all the sooner. Ooh, oh, done. Oh, my, don't they look delicious? Oh, and dear boy never said a word about them.
Arthur is always so kind.
Now, where shall I begin? Oh, how rude of me. I haven't offered them yet. Now, which one will you have, Lady Julia? How about that nice pink one with the liquid center?
No, not for me, thank you.
Oh, you won't? Well, simple then.
Oh, that pink one does look lovely. Are you sure you don't want it?
No, of course not. Do take it.
No, Sybil, I forbid you. Here, have this one.
Oh, Arthur, whatever are you thinking about?
Oh, sorry, Auntie, but if you knew the trouble I've been to, I chose them specifically for you.
Oh, now isn't that nice of him to choose sweets specially for me? Do you know, I believe Arthur is the only one of my relatives who'll be really sorry when I die.
Lady Windermere, the Dean of Paddington.
Oh,
Good
Lord.
morning, Arthur. Your uncle was driving by, so I said I'd come with him. Oh, why, Sybil and Clementina, how nice.
You're not looking well, my boy. Too much excitement at the moment, that's what it is.
Robert, look at this beautiful box of sweets that Arthur has just given me. You must each have one.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh,
Baines,
how nice.
Baines, she has found them and I can't stop her. I don't even know if it's still there.
One moment, my lord. May I have your umbrella, your reverence?
What? Oh, I thought I'd left it in the hall. Thank you.
It is still there, my lord.
Thank heavens. Baines, get that box away from her. I don't care how, but get it away until she goes.
Your lordship forgets I am only a second-classer.
Oh, Baines, don't bear malice at a time like this. I'll speak to Winklegolf.
Arthur, do go and get my music. There's a good boy. I can't stay long.
Yes, Auntie, I'm going. Oh, Baines.
Leave it to me, my lord.
What's this nonsense about Arthur postponing his marriage?
Arthur?
Yes, sent me a note about it. That's why I came round.
Yes, he is expecting some tragic news.
What? Not lost any money, has he?
Of course not. He hasn't. Arthur doesn't gamble. But why should he put it off? Is somebody ill?
I hate to appear morbid, Lady Clementina, but he seems to think you are.
What nonsense.
Unless, of course, this is some subterfuge for putting off the marriage altogether. I thought he had a furtive look when I came in, if Arthur's face could be said to convey any reasonable expression.
You know that isn't true, Mamma. He was dreadfully anxious, and to be quite truthful, Lady Clementina, it was about you.
I suppose it was because I told him I felt a little unwell yesterday. But I shall be fit as a fiddle for your wedding, my dear, and you mustn't. You must actually tell him not to dream of a postponement. Now, who is going to have another of my delicious sweeties?
Oh, not just now, Clem, thank you.
Then, Robert, Shilling, do try that exciting little pink one with the liquid center.
Oh, thank you.
Sherry, your reverence.
What? Oh, I'll have a sweet after my sherry, Clementina.
My lady?
Everybody being looked after, Baines?
All is well, my lord.
You mean? Thank you, Baines.
Arthur, you're just in time. We're about to drink to your health and Sybil's.
Thank you, Auntie.
I am indulging in some of your excellent sherry, Arthur, although it is really poison to me. But I would suffer anything for you, dear boy.
You won't suffer anything now, Auntie. Do you feel all right?
Perfectly well, darling. And now to Sybil and Arthur.
Sybil and Arthur.
Lady Clem, I know it's dreadful of me, but
What is it, dear?
I would love you to drink to our healths. Really, I would, but please don't if it means it would give you heartburn.
Oh, I don't think it would make any difference now, Sybil. Are you still feeling all right, Auntie?
A little tired, that's all, but it's the excitement.
Oh, yes, of course. I should go home and lie down quietly on your bed if I were you. I'll send round in a couple of hours to see how you are.
Oh, dear boy, he's always so solicitous of me. Very well, child. I won't drink this if it will make you unhappy. Arthur shall have it instead. It will do him good.
Are you sure you don't want it, Auntie?
No. You have it. He looked so pale when I came in, but now he looks much better.
And you'll feel a lot different, my boy, with that inside you. Now, to Sybil and Arthur.
To you, Arthur.
To you, Sybil, darling, and to all the years ahead of us.
Now, Sybil, it is time we were leaving. I take it, Arthur, there will be no more talk about postponing the wedding.
Oh no, Lady Julia. Now I know how I stand with Lady Clem. We can carry on with our original arrangements.
I am very glad to hear it. Are you coming, Lady Windermere?
I'm going along now, Margaret. I can give you a lift. Goodbye, my boy.
Good morning, Arthur. Good morning, Sybil.
Your carriage has returned, my lady.
Oh, thank you, Baines. Now, where are my lovely sweets? Oh, on the sideboard. Get them for me, Arthur. I can't think of how they came to be over there. I've nearly eaten them all. Wasn't that greedy of me? But they were so delicious.
I'm so glad you enjoyed them. Go home and lie down quietly now.
I shall see you tonight, dear boy, and afterwards in church.
That's right, Auntie. So you did it, Baines. I'm extremely grateful to you. When I went out, I was paralyzed with fright that something would happen to Miss Merton. How did you get Lady Clem to take the right one?
It was quite simple, my lord. I foresaw the danger the indiscriminate handing round of the sweets might lead to. So on serving the sherry, I took the opportunity of surreptitiously removing the box.
Yes, and then?
Lady Clementina requested a glass of sherry, my lord. I was just pouring it out when I suddenly remembered that the capsule dissolved readily in liquid. I took the fatal potion from the box and dropped it in the sherry.
The glass of sherry you gave to Lady Clem?
Yes, my lord.
You put the poison in it?
I did, my lord, and ladyship drained it to the dregs. We should expect the happy news in about half an hour, my lord.
Oh, you blithering idiot! You infernal nincompoop!
My lord?
I drank it!
There will now be an intermission of 5 minutes.
There. No, there. I think.
What shall I do with the lilies, Mr. Baines?
Remove them. They might depress his lordship if he came down and saw them.
Oh, but Lady Julia sent them as soon as she heard his lordship was ill, Mr. Baines.
I'm aware of it. Her ladyship's expression of sympathy appears to border on the macabre, or the hopeful. I am not sure which. That will be more visitors, I expect. Efface yourself, Nellie.
Will you kindly inform Lord Arthur that I wish to see him at once?
I will inquire whether his lordship is well enough to see you, my lady.
Is he still unwell, Baines?
He has indeed been greatly indisposed, my lady. It was something he swallowed.
By accident or design?
By accident, my lady. A beverage he erroneously supposed to be innocuous. Had I not been on hand to summon a doctor immediately, we might easily have lost him.
Since I have no desire to hurt you, Sybil, I will not comment on that. But is he up and about now?
He is up, my lady, but to say he is about would be an exaggeration. He must take things very quietly for the next few days. Now, if your ladyship will excuse me, I will inform his lordship you are here.
Mamma, you won't be hard on dear Arthur, will you? He couldn't help being ill. He'll be well again in time for the wedding.
I wonder. I shall be interested to see.
Mamma, you don't mean you think Arthur will ask for another postponement?
I shall be very surprised indeed if he does not.
Oh, Sybil.
Arthur! Oh, Arthur! How pale you look. You see, Mamma, he has been ill.
Oh, I feel better already for seeing you, Sybil. Lady Julia, how good of you to come.
Well, speaking for myself, my motives were not entirely prompted by solicitude. However, I am glad to see you looking ill, and this is not another subterfuge.
Another cushion?
No, thank you, dear. I'm quite comfortable.
Mamma and I were so afraid you'd have to postpone the wedding, but now you look so much better.
Well, Sybil, I don't want you to misunderstand me.
Aha!
Arthur, you don't mean to say you want to postpone?
No, darling, I don't want to.
Oh,
Only... Lady Julia, I beg of you, let me speak to Sybil alone for a few minutes.
Alone? Certainly not.
All I wish to do is set her mind at rest about the sincerity of my affections and the honesty of my intentions.
This is most irregular. Do you wish to hear him, Sybil?
Yes, Mamma, I do.
Thank you, darling.
I cannot say that I approve of these confidences between engaged couples. It is far better to reserve them until after marriage, when you will probably have nothing whatever to talk about. However, as Sybil wishes it, I will give you 5 minutes.
I'm most grateful, Lady Julia.
5 minutes, remember, not a second more. You are by no means sufficiently ill for me to allow a longer tete-a-tete.
Oh, Sybil, I am the wretchedest of men.
Arthur, dear, don't look like that. What is it? What's troubling you?
Sybil, do you remember Mr. Podgers?
The palmist, yes, of course.
He told me I was to commit a murder.
A murder? Oh, my poor darling.
Imagine my cruel dilemma. On the brink of marrying you, the sweetest girl in the world, I was told this dreadful thing. But in a moment, my mind was made up. I would commit this crime before our marriage, so that no shadow of infamy or disgrace should fall across our married life, and you should never have to hang your head in shame for me.
Oh, Arthur, how noble of you.
I know.
When did you do it?
Do what?
The murder.
Well, I haven't exactly done it yet.
Oh, Arthur, you've had nearly a week.
Oh, I tried, Sybil. I did try. I prepared a subtle poison for my Aunt Clementina. By accident, I swallowed it myself.
But darling, how careless of you. You knew it was poison.
No, I didn't. At least I did, but I... Oh, really, Sybil? I thought you'd be more sympathetic. I've been most seriously ill.
I'm sorry, dear. I was just a little disappointed. What are you going to try next?
Well, I wish I knew. For 3 days I've lain on my bed of pain, thinking.
And what have you thought?
Nothing. It's much more difficult to commit a murder than people think.
Oh, but darling, dozens of people do it every day who haven't had half your education.
Oh, yes, but those are the ones that are being found out. I want to keep mine strictly private. What is it, Baines?
Lady Julia, my lord, she requests Miss Merton to join her without delay.
You will try very hard, won't you, darling? Mother would never forgive you if you asked for another postponement.
Never fear, Sybil. Now that I have you behind me, I'll venture anything. I'll decide what it's to be, and I'll carry it out without an instant's delay.
Goodbye, darling. I trust you, and I know you'll succeed.
Now, Baines, about this murder.
You feel well enough to discuss it, my lord?
Oh, yes. I'm reasonably fit now. Oh, and by the way, I've confided in Miss Merton. As a matter of fact, she made a suggestion.
I'm not surprised, my lord. Murder is by no means the prerogative of the male sex. Is it to be Lady Clementina again, my lord?
No, I don't think so. I've had the rottenest luck with my auntie. I'd rather try somebody new.
May I inquire whom, my lord?
I don't know yet. Have you got that list we drew up of my relations?
I have it here, my lord.
Good. Put it on the table.
Ah, the game of chance, my lord.
That's right. Then no one can say I've been vindictive. What have I got, Baines?
The Dean of Paddington, my lord.
The Dean? I say, that's dashed awkward. He was going to perform the ceremony.
That need not present a difficulty, my lord. And the method of dispatch?
I'm almost inclined to adopt Miss Merton's suggestion, only I don't know how to go about it.
What was it, my lord?
An explosion.
An explosion. Dynamite, my lord?
Oh, I suppose so. It speaks wholesale somehow.
Nevertheless, my lord, with dynamite, it should be scarcely possible to fail.
Yes, but I don't know where to get any dynamite. It's not the sort of thing you could just go in and ask for.
Lord Arthur, he is in ya.
My lord, we are saved. Listen.
Winklecop, by Jove!
My dear Lord Arthur, how are you? I was passing this way, and I say to myself, I will go in and see that nice Lord Arthur, yeah?
Herr Winklecop, I need your help.
It is all yours, Lord Arthur.
Can you let me have some dynamite?
Oh, but of course.
You can.
Nothing simpler.
You see, my lord.
How do you wish it, my lord? Plain or disguised?
Oh, disguised, I think. I don't want to be crude.
As it happens, I have just come from the house of the Russian ambassador, so I have some samples with me. For a lady or a gentleman?
A gentleman, the Dean of Paddington.
Ah, Dean! Ah, then I have just the very thing. Look here, my lord.
An umbrella?
Ah, but what an umbrella. Once open this and poof! You would not even have to pay for a funeral.
It's loaded with dynamite?
To the very frugal, my lord.
Oh, this seems to be just the thing. Oh, what you say, Baines?
If I might be permitted, my lord, it seems a trifle dangerous.
Well, of course it is. That's the idea.
Your lordship misunderstands me. I mean, the dean is absent-minded and might easily leave it about for some innocent bystander to pick up.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought of that. No, I'm sorry, Herr Winklecop. It had better be something else.
The dean takes snuff, no?
No.
Ah, a pity.
He likes clocks, though.
Clocks? But yes, I have the very thing. Look at that, Lord Arthur.
Is it loaded?
Not yet. You may handle it in safety.
How does it go off?
Oh, that is my secret. But tell me the hour you wish it to explode, and I will set it.
I'll have this then, Herr Winklecop, and set it for, let me see, tomorrow at 12 midday.
Tomorrow at 12 midday.
The dean is always home then.
You would do better to let me send it. It would be more suitable for your purposes if the clock were to arrive anonymously.
Uncle.
I'm glad you're at home, Arthur. I want to talk with you. What's this I hear about you postponing your marriage again? Lady Julia has just been to see me.
Allow me, your reverence.
Oh, this is Herr Winklecop, Uncle.
How do you do, sir? Well, Arthur, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm not at all well, Uncle.
Nonsense! You look perfectly well to me. It's your duty to get married, sir. You can't always be living for pleasure.
I am trying to get married, Uncle. You've no idea how hard I've been trying.
I don't believe you, sir. These postponements are making the family the laughing stock of the town. I tell you, Arthur, unless you act quickly, something very serious is going to happen.
I know, Uncle. I can see it.
I don't know why I waste my time on you. And when do you propose to have the wedding now?
In July, Uncle.
July? I'm not at all sure I shall be available then.
I'm quite sure you won't, Uncle.
No, I shall be a long way off by that time, going where it's warmer, in fact.
Oh, Uncle, surely not.
Well, you'll have to put up with young Augustus, that's all. And mind you go through with it this time, Arthur. This sort of thing is getting us talked about, and I don't like it. Good day to you, sir.
Your umbrella, your reverence.
Well, Herr Winklecoff, any scruples I may have had are completely vanished now. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
My lord, you need go no further with those preparations. Your troubles are over.
What? What do you mean?
I have done the business for you, my lord. I have given the dean Herr Winklecoff's umbrella.
Baines, you didn't!
The opportunity seemed to me too good to be missed, my lord.
Mein Gott, it is true!
Oh, but this is wonderful, Herr Winklecoff. Oh, will the umbrella go off the moment it's opened?
It cannot fail, my lord.
Is it still raining, Baines?
Pouring, my lord.
Oh, then he'll open it the moment he steps outside. Any minute now. Listen.
I suppose you realize you gave me the wrong umbrella? You noticed I got the wrong one the moment I opened it.
You opened it?
Yes, always know my own umbrella. Got a tear in the silk. This one is perfect, see? Glad that fool caused you no inconvenience, sir. Good day.
I thought you said that umbrella would go off the moment it was opened.
I cannot understand it. Never before have I known it to fail.
Idiot! Bungler! Here I have the perfect opportunity of killing my uncle. My servant very properly takes advantage of it, and you ruin it!
My lord! No,
I don't believe you're any good at all. You're a windbag, a blundering incompetent. Explosive umbrella indeed.
No, take care! It is still charged! Oh,
charged! Didn't you hear my uncle say he opened it in perfect safety? Oh, look at it. Harmless, perfectly harmless. Oh, the thing's useless. Open the window, Baines. Now toss it out. And that's what I think of your explosive umbrella, Herr Winklecoff.
Nothing, I fear, about the dean, my lord.
This suspense is terrible.
Would your lordship care for me to make a few discreet inquiries at the more prominent hospitals?
Oh, certainly not. If anything had happened to the dean, I should have been informed at once. Winklecoff promised faithfully the clock would explode on Tuesday, and now it's Friday, and we haven't heard a thing.
It is possible, my lord. The clock may be suffering from delayed action, as was the case with Herr Winklecoff's umbrella. I beg your pardon, my lord. I merely wished to imply that we may yet hear from Herr Winklecoff.
Winklecoff? I don't believe he's ever done a murder in his life. I've lost all faith in him.
Herr Winklecoff, my lord.
my lord, congratulations!
What?
Victory, my lord! You are a happy man.
Has the clock gone off?
Oh, it exploded yesterday at 12 o'clock.
How do you know?
Did I not set it myself? Did I not charge it with me own hands?
Yes, I know all that, but your umbrella didn't go off, at least not when it was supposed to.
Oh, my lord, do not recall it. Oh, that caused me such deep distress that for 3 nights I have sat up with the clock, determined there would be no risk of failure. That is why there has been this little delay. I did not send it until yesterday.
And it happened the same day.
I was outside the deanery myself, my lord. I hear the whirring sound that precedes the explosion. Then I run for my life, for I know my task is done.
Permit me to offer my congratulations, my lord.
Thank you, Baines. I suppose I ought to pay a visit of condolence to the deanery.
Would be a thoughtful gesture, my lord. I will go and procure some suitable flowers.
Herr Winklecop, you'll forgive me if at any time I've been a little skeptical of your abilities.
Say no more, my lord. You have been overwrought. It was natural, but you should not have worried. Winklecop, he never failed.
Lady Windermere.
Oh, Arthur, what do you think of this dreadful news?
Oh, good evening, Auntie. You mean about the Dean?
Yes, of course I mean the Dean. What other news is there?
Oh, it is sad, of course, Auntie.
Sad? It's catastrophic. His poor wife is absolutely shattered.
I expect Uncle is a bit too.
Arthur, how can you speak like that? Have you no heart?
Well, I'm sorry, Auntie. Oh, this is a friend of mine, Herr Winklecop.
How do you do? It was all the fault of that wretched clock, I know it. And Robert would have put it in the library where he writes his sermons. And then, only a few hours later, his life was over. All the good he has labored to do in Paddington, forgotten.
I wouldn't say that, Auntie. I, for one, know that I will always be jolly grateful to him. Do you think half mourning will be enough, or ought it to be full?
Must you be so facetious, Arthur?
Well, after all, he was my uncle.
Even though Robert may be in future lost to us, there is no need to speak of him as if he were dead.
Is he only very ill, then?
He says he is well, but I shall certainly call it an illness. Imagine, everyone in England wants to hear him preach because somebody sends him a wretched little clock.
Won't you tell us exactly what happened, Auntie?
But I thought you knew.
Yes, but our accounts seem to differ.
Wouldn't you prefer this to be private?
No, I'd like Herr Winklecop to remain, if you don't mind.
Well, just as you please. It began all yesterday morning when a clock arrived for him from an anonymous donor.
Yes, I know about that.
There was a little figure of a woman on top, so Robert instantly jumped to the conclusion that it was intended to represent the figure of liberty, and that the donor must be someone who had heard his sermon, Is Licensed Liberty. He had it placed immediately in his study, and while he was writing his sermon, there was a whirring sound from the clock.
Just as I told you, my lord.
It struck 12 very slowly, and the little puff of smoke came out of the pedestal, and the figure of Liberty fell flat on her face and broke her nose on the fender.
Is that all? I mean, wasn't there an explosion?
Oh, only from your uncle. He instantly drew the absurd analogy that liberty in this country is about to be dethroned and announced his intention of leaving the deanery and preaching the horrors of democracy in every corner of England. I would like to murder whoever sent him that clock.
So would I.
I won't come again, dear boy. So I'll say goodbye now. And do see your poor aunt. She is utterly distracted. Good evening.
No, Baines, they won't be needed now. So Winklecop never fails, eh?
I cannot understand it, my lord. Never in my life has such a thing happened before.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
My lord, is there anything I can do for you?
Yes, brandy.
And soda, my lord?
No.
Very good, my lord. My lord, I do believe your troubles are over.
Why? Is somebody dead?
Not yet, my lord, but it should not be long.
What?
Winklecop and myself have between us developed a simple yet we believe infallible trap.
I thought I had told you to keep that man away from here.
He was overcome with contrition, my lord, and begged to be allowed one more attempt.
Well, what is it this time?
Black thread, my lord, stretched across the head of the stairs. Whoever touches it with their foot cannot fail but to be precipitated head first to the bottom. What do you think of that, my lord?
I suppose it's not a bad idea, except there's nobody upstairs to fall over it.
But there is, my lord. Lady Windermere, she went up to see your new decorating.
Auntie, I'd forgotten her.
Even as we completed our arrangements, we heard her ladyship preparing to descend.
Baines, do you really think we'll succeed this time? I don't think I could stand another failure.
I'm convinced of it, my lord, and I am not, as your lordship knows, of a sanguine nature. Herr Winklecoff is waiting at the top flight, ready to remove the traces of foul play when all is over.
Oh, listen.
Her ladyship is descending the first flight, my lord.
She's coming nearer.
Now, my lord. It is done, my lord.
Oh, thank you, old friend. I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
It was understandable, my lord.
Arthur, I don't know what's happened to your foreign friend, but he's lying on the foot of the stairs. I think he's unconscious.
I need hardly offer my profound apologies, my lord.
What is going on in this house, Arthur? I stopped at the top of the stairs to fasten my shoe, and that funny little man suddenly shot past me like an arrow. Really, he might have killed me.
It's extremely unlikely, Auntie.
It looks as it appears he has only fainted, my lord.
I don't imagine he's seriously hurt. The lower classes are astonishingly impervious to fatal accident.
The upper classes aren't doing so badly either.
I must be going. I'm late already. I must say, Arthur, your house is becoming increasingly like a bear garden. I shall be thankful when you are married. It will curb your high spirits.
High spirits. High spirits.
Have we succeeded?
That's a fine question coming from you.
Do not despair, my lord. There is always tomorrow, and Winklecoff. Never say die.
I can well believe it.
All is not lost, my lord. There are other days and other methods.
Oh, not for me.
Excuse me, Mr. Baines. There's a gentleman outside who insists on seeing his lordship. He sent in his card.
Mr. Podgers?
The palmist, my lord.
Must see you. Urgent.
My
What do you
lord,
want?
my lord, could it be he was mistaken about what he saw in your hand?
But he was so positive. It is a possibility. Admit him at once, Baines. Must see you. Urgent? Oh, Sybil. Sybil.
Mr. Podgers.
Mr. Podgers, I'm delighted to see you. Come and sit down.
Thank you, Lord Arthur. It is indeed a pleasure to find I am so welcome.
Cigar? Brandy?
Nothing, thank you, my lord. I would rather come straight to the matter which brought me here.
Do, by all means. Be advised, Mr. Podgers, never try to commit a murder. You've no idea how difficult it is. I've tried Lady Beauchamp, the Dean of Paddington, and only today, Lady Windermere.
What you tell me is most interesting. So you were responsible for the explosive clock, which was to have sent the Dean of Paddington to another world?
That's right. How did you know about it, by the way?
It is in the evening papers. Scotland Yard has now decided that the clock was intended to be lethal and have taken up the case.
Have they? By Jove. I bet they'd like to know who sent it.
Yes, my lord, I expect they would.
Oh, but we won't tell them, will we?
You will not, my lord, naturally, but...
I say, you don't mean you're going to?
I may and I may not. It depends.
On what?
On what it is worth to me to keep quiet.
So that's it.
I want £1,000 in cash tonight.
£1,000? You must be out of your mind.
No, my lord, but you would do well to make that your plea when you come to stand trial before your peers.
Trial?
Unless you comply with my little request, I shall go straight to Scotland Yard and place my information in their hands. Come, my lord, you are a rich man. What is £1,000 to you?
Well, I haven't got it.
Pah!
I haven't, honestly. It's the end of the month. I have about £2.10 at the moment.
You have friends, relatives, you have jewels, plate, silver. Get it by 12 o'clock tonight and bring it to the embankment. I shall be waiting by Cleopatra's Needle.
Oh, but I say...
by the needle, you understand?
By the needle?
I am glad to find you so sensible. Oh, one word of caution, my lord. Do not attempt to outwit me. Remember, however unsuccessful you may have been in your own little efforts, the hangman never makes mistakes.
My lord, was it... My lord?
Hand me that, will you? We were wrong, Baines. It wasn't a mistake.
You say Lord Arthur left the house last night and has not returned since?
That is exactly what he did, my lady.
And you have told us everything.
He spoke of seeking some war in which he might give his life for the benefit of humanity.
Some what?
Some war, my lady, in which he might give his life...
Yes, I heard the rest. I have never heard anything so preposterous. He must be out of his mind.
Not. I know why he's doing it. Isn't it noble of him, Baines? Perhaps at this very moment he's on some ship watching from the deck the disappearing shores of England.
I doubt it. He is probably still waiting at Victoria Station on the wrong platform.
But he may be dead, my lady.
Neither do I see any reason for optimism. Come, Sybil, we need to attend the wedding rehearsal in half an hour.
But we can't have the rehearsal without Arthur.
I shall give him 10 minutes latitude. After that, the engagement is terminated.
Poor Arthur. He never did anything very well.
No, miss, he was a true son of the nobility.
What will you do now, Baines?
I shall retire, miss. I should never serve another master.
And I shall never marry now.
I understand, miss.
But we will remember him, won't we?
Indeed, we will, miss. His image is graven on my heart.
Good morning, Baines. Why, Sybil, darling.
Arthur! Oh, my love, you've come back. Did you miss the train?
Train?
The train to North Africa, darling, or wherever it is.
Oh, that. I didn't try to catch it.
But Baines was telling me last night. But...
Oh, yes. Well, as a matter of fact, I was rather busy last night. These are for you, Sybil. They're not one bit more beautiful than you are.
Oh, darling, thank you.
Now, is everything ready? I'm not too late, am I?
Too late for what?
By the wedding rehearsal. Must have everything going smoothly. Can't have any hitches there.
My lord, do you mean you're going on with your marriage?
Yes, of course I am.
But Arthur, how can you?
Well, why not?
Well, darling, surely you remember you said you must commit your murder first.
Yes.
Then how can we be married until you've done it?
But darling, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I have done it.
What?
The murder, my lord?
Yes, I did it last night.
Arthur, you didn't.
Yes, Sybil, I did, really.
Oh, darling, I'm so proud of you. I always knew you could do it if you put your mind to it. Was it very difficult?
Oh, no, not very. Surprisingly easy, as a matter of fact. Didn't take longer than a couple of minutes.
My lord, may I ask whom and how?
Well, do you remember Podgers calling here last night?
I do, my lord. We hoped he had come to say he was mistaken in his prediction.
Well, he hadn't. He jolly well came to blackmail me.
Oh, Arthur, how terrible. What did you do?
There wasn't very much I could do. I argued with him, but he was quite relentless. So in the end, I said I'd meet him on the embankment.
Now I understand about the silver. It must have been with a sinking heart that you approached your rendezvous, my lord.
Yes, it was. Still, I had hoped to have one last attempt to make him see reason. I got to the embankment early, but Podgers was there before me. He was leaning over the parapet, looking down into the water. He didn't see me coming, and it was then that the idea struck me.
Go on, my lord.
It was Podgers who would cause me all this misery. So if I had to murder somebody, why shouldn't it be Podgers? Almost as I thought, I acted. I seized his legs, and with a mighty effort, I hurled him into the Thames. There was a cry, a splash, and then all was silent. Nothing could be seen but his silk hat pirouetting into the water. Podgers was no more.
Arthur, what a wonderful thing to do. How happy you must have felt.
I haven't felt so light-hearted for weeks. And now I can marry you with a clear conscience, darling. There's nothing more to stand in our way.
No more postponements.
Not a single one. Well, Baines, aren't you going to congratulate me?
My lord,
What's the matter?
I really hardly know how to say this, my lord.
Come on, man, out with it. We're in a hurry.
Has your lordship seen the morning paper?
No, not yet. Why? Does it contain announcement of Potter's death?
It does, my lord.
Well, that's all right then. Not that I needed confirmation. He sank like a jolly old stone.
No, my lord, it is not all right.
Oh, what's the matter with you? Podgers is dead, isn't he?
Yes, my lord, but you did not kill him.
Oh, what do you mean? Of course I killed him.
No, my lord, he was found shot through the head in his apartment this morning.
Shot? But that's impossible. I tell you, I pushed him into the Thames last night.
It is here, my lord, that paragraph.
Suicide of a well-known chiromancer. I say that's not fair. I killed him.
Well, let me look, Arthur.
I did, Sybil, really, I did.
Arthur, listen. The deceased had apparently made a previous attempt on his life, for his clothes were saturated with water.
Well, there you are.
But it is concluded that the attempt was unsuccessful since Mr. Podgers was an exceptionally strong swimmer,
Oh, no.
having on 2 occasions swum the English Channel.
Oh, that would be the man I would have to try and kill by drowning.
Oh, Arthur, what a shame. That means you haven't murdered anybody.
Oh, and I was so happy when I came in.
Shall I telephone the usual paragraph to the Times, my lord, announcing a further postponement?
I suppose so.
Oh, no, Arthur, you mustn't. Mamma said if you postponed it again, she'd terminate the engagement.
Well, what else can I do?
My lord,
Oh, help, are you here again?
I have heard everything, my lord, and I realize that the situation calls for immediate and efficient action.
That's right, that's why we don't need you.
Your lordship will change your tone when you hear that I have other resources. I have not yet shown you my piece de resistance.
If it's anything like the other things you've shown me, I don't want to see it.
Don't be obstinate, Arthur. You ought to be grateful to Herr Winklecoff for trying to help when there's so little time. What is it, Herr Winklecoff?
Your lordship remembers the success of my explosive umbrella.
Success, you call it? It nearly blew me to bits.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now, I suggest try an explosive on a larger scale.
Larger?
In other words, the bomb.
Oh, but I say, look here.
No, don't start raising objections, Arthur. I'm sure it's a very good idea.
Oh, yes, but dash it all, a bomb will make such a frightful mess. And the place has just been redecorated. Oh, anyway, there's nobody here for it to blow up except us.
Not so, my lord. Even as I came in, I saw a carriage approaching, bearing 2 of your relations.
Oh, Lord.
There you see, Arthur. It couldn't be better.
But I haven't got to murder 2.
Do not bother about the extra one, my lord. It is well to have an extra for emergencies.
All right. What do you want me to do?
Keep them in here for 5 minutes. That is all. The rest will be simplicity itself.
Yes, I bet it will.
Don't be so aggravating, Arthur.
The instrument of destruction is in my bag.
Lady Windermere and Lady Beauchamp have called, my lord.
A word of warning, my lord. Do not dally in there yourself. Delay will be dangerous.
Good morning, Arthur. We're just on our way to the church. Sybil, dear, your mother's waiting for you in the carriage.
I'm just going. Don't be long, will you, Arthur? I shan't feel safe till I see you.
See Miss Burton to the carriage, Baines.
Yes, my lord.
Do sit down, won't you, Auntie? The sofa is very comfortable.
Oh, but we aren't staying. We're only called on to see if you could come along with us.
Oh, but you must stay for 5 minutes. Surely you could stay for 5 minutes.
Well, perhaps we can, Margaret, as Arthur is so very pressing.
Oh, good. I'm not ready myself, you see. I shall have to go and tidy up.
Oh, but you must stay, Arthur. I've something most particular to tell you.
I really can't stop, Auntie. I shall be late.
Then we'll all be late together. I want to tell you about Mr. Podgers. I suppose you've heard the news.
Oh, yes. Terrible thing. Terrible thing.
Of course, I always knew he would do it.
What, commit suicide?
Yes, it was bound to happen in the end.
But why?
Why? Because he was on the point of being exposed, of course.
Exposed as what?
A fraud, my dear. A complete and utter fraud.
A fraud?
Of the most errant kind. The man was a complete imposter.
Auntie, this is most terribly important. Are you quite sure of what you say?
Certainly I am. Every one of his predictions, without exception, has been proved entirely false. The Clairvoyant Society heard of his activities and threatened to expose him. That is why he killed himself.
My lord! My lord!
Is that man trying to speak to you, Arthur?
What?
Go away! Oh, but my lord!
Go away, I'm busy. Then there was not one atom of truth in anything that Podgers predicted.
Not a scrap. He had no powers of any sort.
Oh, how glad I am. He predicted only a happy future for you, Arthur.
Yes, I must say I'm rather surprised he didn't attempt to make capital of you, Arthur.
Me?
Yes, I suppose all those postponements of yours had nothing to do with Mr. Podgers.
Oh, no, Auntie. What an idea.
I'm very glad to hear it.
Arthur, I don't like to appear inquisitive, but is there anything wrong with your table? It seems to be smoking.
What? Great Scott!
Well, what a peculiar-looking object.
I can't see it, dear. Is it the thing that's smoking?
Yes, bring it out. Let your Aunt Clementina see it.
Oh, it's nothing interesting, Auntie. Just a new kind of ornament. I'll have it removed.
Oh, don't do that, Arthur. It's not causing me the slightest inconvenience. Is it you, Margaret?
Oh, no, not in the least.
But it might do later. Baines, take this away. For heaven's
But my
sake.
lord, I thought you needed it.
Well, I don't anymore. Put it somewhere where it's safe.
Where would you suggest, my lord?
How do I know? Or put it in the garden or something.
Very good, my lord.
Really, Arthur, there was no need to make such a fuss. Anyone would think it was dangerous. I think we should go, Clementina. We mustn't be too late.
Don't be long, will you, dear boy? We shall be waiting at the church for you. Oh, Arthur, I do hope you'll be happy.
I shall be, Auntie. Now, nothing could stop me now.
Au revoir, my dear.
Free! Free at last! Oh, well...
In the kitchen garden, my lord, among the asparagus.
Oh, Baines, I've had the most wonderful news. Podgers was a fake. Do you hear? A fake. Everything he predicted was utterly false.
Then this means...
Yes, I haven't got to do a murder after all. Not a single one. I can go through life without a stain on my conscience. Oh, I don't know when I've been so happy.
May I offer the heartiest congratulations, my lord.
Thank you, Baines.
And now, if your lordship will permit me, you have a pressing engagement.
Oh, yes. Mustn't be late for the wedding rehearsal. Is the carriage at the door?
It is, my lord.
Oh, Baines, I can hardly believe it. I'm actually on my way to my wedding rehearsal. In 3 weeks' time, I shall be married. Oh, it's like a beautiful dream. Oh, Herr Winklecoff, I shan't require your services anymore. Thank you for all you've done. And, take this, for your society. Oh, and, come to the wedding. It's in 3 weeks' time.
I must apologize for removing your bomb, sir. It was a trifle inconvenient where it was.
Oh, that is all right, my friend. I have already put it where it will be of more use.
You've taken it from the kitchen garden.
This very minute, I have placed it in the carriage that was outside.
The carriage? That was at the door?
Yeah, I knew somebody connected with Lord Arthur would be bound to step into it sooner or later. In 2-3 minutes, all will be over. Ah, there it goes.
Oh, Mr. Baines!
His lordship, tell me the worst.
Oh, Mr. Baines, he's been arrested!
Arrested? His lordship?
He's just stepped into the carriage when he saw something on the floor. I don't know why, but he picked it up and he threw it out and it blew up the horse trough over the street. The next thing I saw, he was being marched off between 2 policemen for disturbing the peace.
Give me the Times newspaper, please. Good morning. I'm speaking from Savile House, Grosvenor Square. Kindly insert the usual paragraph tomorrow morning announcing the postponement of the marriage of Lord Arthur Savile.
In Lord Arthur Savile's Crime, the part of Baines was played by Ian Fore, Lord Arthur by Sam Felsenthal, Sybil by Liz Porter, Mr. Podgers by Richie Porter, Lady Julia by Cassie Gabriel, Lady Windermere by Dre Weeks, Lady Clementine by Celeste Lucid Weiser, The Dean by Robert Weiser, Herr Winkelkopf by Brian Monsell, and Nellie by Kelly Newman O'Connor. The production was edited by Liz Porter. Thank you for joining us tonight for the Theatre Group's performance reading of Oscar Wilde's Lord Arthur Savile's Crime. As always, if you enjoyed the show and would like to see more Theatre Group readings, please consider making a donation, and whatever amount, at our website, luminastudio.org. We certainly appreciate all that you can do to support the treasure of live theater. We hope that you will join us for our next YouTube performance reading on Sunday, March the 6th, 7 p.m., for a delightful comedy, Cold Comfort Farm by Stella Gibbons. Thank you once again, and have a good evening.